Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Jamie. Thanks for joining me in this video, which is actually a follow-up video to one I put out recently where I wanted to give you guys a bit of an understanding as to my thought processes when an offer just doesn't land the way that you anticipate it's going to. And I thought it would do a lot of good for you guys just to see some of the ideas and strategies behind it to see how you can actually fix up an offer in real time. So to give a little bit of context, I basically have a student, Liam, who's absolutely crushing it. Went from 0 to over 100 sales as part of my Ultimate Marketing Mastermind in around about 7 weeks. Since surpassed that, and I don't even know what he's on. Let's call it 110, 120, something like that. And we're talking about maybe 8 weeks now. Not even that, I don't think, to be perfectly fair. So with his early success, this was both a mixture of low ticket, high ticket, and recurring offers. So he basically jumped out the gates, and within an 8 week time frame, he's already surpassed over 10K in actual cash collected in his affiliate business. So he's done really well. But what he's also done is he's also launched imperfectly along the way. And so what he's launched imperfectly is a 3-day challenge. Now, because he's one of my students and he's crushed it, and I went through the 3-day challenge, I actually believe very strongly in the product. Also, because of the fact that it's actually only $9 at the time of recording. So I thought this is a pretty cool way to help a few people out that are early on in their affiliate marketing journeys and just give them a bit of experience in terms of how to set up their Facebook groups without all the usual mistakes most people make, how to elevate their own authority straight away, and realistically, I guess give folks a really good grounding in terms of how to start their affiliate business without all the complex funnels, all that type of stuff. And yes, I get the irony with that as well. So what I thought I'd do, a little bit of a follow-up on that last video, like I say, and I'm just going to run you guys through the stats. Now, what I will say is that this is a low-ticket launch, and I say a launch is actually still in the process of going at the moment. It is an evergreen product that Liam has created, but for my portion, it wasn't what my main focus for this month was going to be. And I thought once he came out with the 3-day challenge, I thought, cool, I'll jump on this for a few days. I'll see if I can help push a few sales over the line for him. And really just now revert my focus back onto what is my core product, which is the Ultimate Marketing Mastermind. I will leave a link below if you'd like to see a free case study of that and what we're up to inside the Ultimate Marketing Mastermind as well. Maybe you can start getting some of these crazy results for your own business as well if you're an affiliate or coach for that matter as well. Right, so I thought actually I've just done something which is a bit daft because I just deleted a whole bunch of posts. And so what I normally do, and I'll kind of map this out for you guys as well. Now, if you are new, oh my God, what am I doing here? If you are new to me, by the way, my name is Jamie Gardner. I'm a full-time coach and high-ticket affiliate marketer, and well, I guess just affiliate marketer in general, because this isn't a high-ticket product by any stretch of the imagination. So what I'm going to do, I'll explain some of my logic behind why I've done certain things, and here we go. It's me drawing pictures. So the results, first and foremost. Now, $300. It's a little bit of Christmas cash or whatever. It's not the best offer that I've ever put out. It's probably not the best promotion I've ever done. And there's a few things I did that didn't really click the way that I had anticipated. But I'll show you kind of just a rough idea of how these stats often go. Like you see, I mean, it's $300. It's cool. It's cool. I'm not upset about that, given that it was just a little promotion that I've done just for the last 3 days. It's fine. It's taken me maybe, including the video time, actually maybe with the video time, let's say it's maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours of maintenance and upkeep. So $150 an hour, it's okay. And this is really typical. I've actually drawn graphs like this before showing how these things often come about. And so if you're about to go into your own launch or you're launching on behalf of someone else, it's a very typical sort of flow that looks very similar to this. So you often have a few early adopters that jump in, and that's cool. And then there's often a lull in the middle when you're trying to just keep hammering the content, all that type of stuff. And then normally in that last 24 hours, there's a big spike up. Now, what I saw, which was really interesting, is the big spike up, which I say big spike up, it's like $100 or something, right? 128. So the big spike up actually happened before the end of the 24-hour period, which I found really fascinating. It's the first time I've ever seen that play out quite like that in these types of environments. So like I say, nothing necessarily to write home about, but I really did want to kind of put it out there for you guys that once you build a bit of an audience, and it doesn't need to be a huge audience. I have a pretty small audience in the grand scheme of things. I've got a couple of thousand subs here on YouTube. I've got 4,000 odd people in my Facebook group, which you're welcome to check out below if you'd like to join the shenanigans over there. It's a lot of fun. And about 1,100 subscribers on my email list at the time of recording. And so I would estimate that my email list brings in around about 30 to 40% of my monthly revenue. At the moment, that is sort of floating between kind of like 30 to 50K-ish, give or take. Some months are a little bit smaller, some months are a little bit bigger. It's just the nature of organic marketing in general. So it's pretty cool, right? But it's small in the grand scheme of things. But my point being is that if you put an amount of time and energy into building your audience and helping folks out, all that type of stuff, then you can do these little micro launches, get yourself a few little bits and pieces, a little bit of cash flow here and there, and yeah, it's just a lot of fun, right? So big things that I did is when I first launched this, and this goes back to the other video, like I say, where I messed a few things up. And so the big things that I messed up is I wasn't very clear with what my bonuses were going to be, and that was just a time and energy and creative mojo type thing. I really thought I'm just going to dangle the carrot, make it a little bit mysterious, which I still am going. I now need to go and deliver the bonuses to the folks that have jumped in. So a lot of them jumped in based on that, which was pretty cool. So I could have been a little bit more clear about what folks were going to get as part of their bonus and support offering as well. There's a little bit of a mistake there. The other part of it was a couple of things that I could have done a little bit better. So I set a hard deadline, which is what's pushed a lot of those sales over now. But the other thing I could have done was cap out the numbers. Now I ended up with, I think it was like 31 sales. I think there's probably going to be a few more. I suspect what's happened is that the specific software that is in use, I don't know if that would have captured all of the sales. So I think once a final sweep is done, then it'll probably push that up a few more sales as well. All going according to plan. But what I could have done is could have gone, okay, I'm going to cap it out at 50. And so once the 50 spots are gone, then that's it, all the secret bonus, blah, blah, blah. But I would have needed, in my opinion, I would have needed to put the actual bonus as an actual thing rather than like, hey, join the thing, secret bonus that has never been revealed before. I probably would have needed to actually map out exactly what that was and explain it to my audience in order for this to work a little bit better. The other thing I did do, and this is something I'm going back to the last video, was I put a hard deadline in. And so I'll show some examples of some of the posts that I put out. But basically, when you're doing these types of things, it could be over, say, 3 days, 7 days, 10 days, 15 days, really doesn't matter. Obviously, the longer the time frame, the more sort of momentum you're going to push into that final part. For me, with these low ticket type things, I don't really want to push them for too much time. It's more about just doing a little burst of promotional stuff. And obviously, I really believe in the product as well. So anyway, last thing was, what did we say? I think technically it was 4 days given the time zones and things like that, but let's say 3-ish, whatever, it doesn't matter. So you go basically one big promo post, you then probably put out another one each day. Now, the other thing I did make a mistake on is I didn't put out any stories relating to this. I didn't celebrate anyone that had joined under me. I didn't say, hey, congratulations to blah, blah. And that was purely because my content started conflicting itself. I had a few scheduled posts out, and I knew that if I was going to start putting too much together, it was just going to cause calamity. So that's another thing I didn't do. I didn't put out any reels relating to this. I did leverage my group, my profile, and my email list, but I probably could have gone a lot harder with all three of those as well. Anyway, so I'd go normally one big announcement post, get some hand raisers, throw my offer doc over to those folks, and then kind of just move it forward from there. So the middle part is usually things like you're handling objections, you're, I guess, rewarding or celebrating folks that have already jumped in, which kind of creates, from a psychological perspective, it creates a real us and them type mentality. And then the last sort of 24 hours, you go, hey, final reminder, we've got 24 hours left. And then you go 12 hours. You guys have seen me do this before, 6 hours, 1 hour, and then bang, that's it, right? And so for me, I was holding the final time to get these bonuses as the midnight Eastern Standard Time on the Mondays or Tuesday, I think it was. So 11:59 p.m. on Monday Eastern Standard Time, and so that's how I kind of threw that out there. But I wasn't super strict on it. I wasn't like, it wasn't kind of strict. I'll show you some examples there. You know, one of my last ones, I just did a 24-hour, didn't bother with a 12-hour or a 6-hour or 1 hour on my profile, only because I knew that I'd put out so much content regarding this. I thought it was going to burn my audience out, to be perfectly honest. And with this one, I said, you know, wise words from Gaza Vaza. Hopefully he doesn't mind me calling him that. Everyone laughed, and it's actually a really good quote, really good advice. And so all I did is, because I'm lazy, I put the actual offer doc here, and I'll just show you guys so you have a reference point. And then the day before, I was rewarding, ironically enough, Liam, who's the dude who's created this 3-day thing, and he had a $5,400 day, 3K cash collected, which is pretty sweet. And that obviously, because I've tagged him in it, it's got a relatively okay engagement. And again, I've just left it there, and I've had quite a few people jump in off the back of that as well. Another one, which was written by a very dear friend and colleague of mine, who will remain nameless, Secret Squirrel. Anyway, same thing there. And okay, looks like I probably left a few things on the board here. I think I did put the link up the top. Oh no, maybe I didn't. Okay, maybe I need to go back to those. Anyway, whatever. Like I say, you can do this stuff imperfectly, and you're not going to break anything, right? Like it's not like people were lacking in information if they really wanted to find it, and I forgot to get back to these folks. And I do sincerely apologize. It's just been a chaotic time, and most of them aren't really raising their hand, interested in the actual offer itself anyway. So I don't feel super guilty about this stuff at all. People just saying cute, cute, cute. Like, of course it's cute. Koalas are amazing. Look at them. Anyway, 100 sales in under 7 weeks. So this was the thing that stuck out. Started. There we go. Started it all off. All right. Water time. This is getting chaotic. Oh yeah, by the way, this whole segment of my channel is uncut, so I'm not going to edit any of this stuff, and it's just me just talking. So hopefully you guys don't mind that as well. I will produce some other YouTube content that will be a little bit more edited, but just I'm enjoying the process of just throwing the stuff out there and hopefully helping a few of you guys out as well, and seeing some of the raw behind the scenes type stuff as well. All right. So, and sorry, I lied. I thought it was like 3 or 4 days, but I obviously have no concept of time these days. It turns out that was 6 days ago. Far out. And I think actually, if I recall correctly, what happened is I threw this out there. I'm like, cool, I'm just going to put it out there, see what happens. And then after that, I was like, okay, that didn't quite work how I anticipated. So how can I fix this up? And that's how I've sort of gone through and started fixing things up. Anyway, so had that kind of kicked things off, like I say, 6 days, but allowing for time zones, blah, 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 blah. And I thought it was, I don't know what the difference between 3 and 6 is. I don't know. Counting so hard. Who would have thought that I worked in finance in one of the most complex branches of finance for like, was it 8 years or something? Ridiculous. Derivatives, super, super fun, by the way. But anyway, so then all I did was I changed this warning. This will be gone in less than 24 hours. So I created a warning, and I think that's what led to that spike that I showed you guys as well. Blah, 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 blah. Good. It's a pretty good offer, to be perfectly fair, but I could have done a few things to make it better. $8.75, $9 is what you're getting, yada, 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 enroll here. And if you refer back to the other video, I also made a big giant mistake here, because I'd actually put this in my group, and then all I did is like copy that from my group, put it into an email, send that off, and then put it into, a Google Doc and send that off to my email list, realizing that basically the call to action was reply to this post, and I'll send some details over to you. And I completely forgot that, and then I just put claim your spot here, right? So like I say, launching perfectly. It's okay. It could have gone way better. So what I'm doing now is I'm going through, and it's past midnight Eastern Standard Time at the time of recording. So I've just gone through and I've deleted a whole bunch of these posts that were like, hey, 1 hour left, 6 hours left, 12 hours left, you better get on this. This is the best thing since sliced bread, blah, blah, blah. Right. And so that's kind of the goal, right? You want to make sure that you're removing these so it doesn't like clutter your news feed and clutter all your content as well. So here's another example. I put this out and I tagged people into that and made a whole bunch of people mad at me. Soz, hashtag Soz for that. I'm not doing that. Sorry, actually, I don't care. You spend 5 years building a bloody Facebook group, and then Facebook just refuses to show it to anyone, show your content to anyone. It's just so disheartening. So I was like, bugger it. You can all see it. Tag everyone. Yeah, okay, I don't really have any more examples. Over here, I think that's it. Yep, cool. Right, so now what's going to happen is from a funny sort of basis, right? Like I've been like hammering an offer, and it's gone okay, but like I say, I'm not super pumped about the whole thing. But now what happens is there is an emotional drain in my audience. I've drained my audience. They're thinking, who's this Jamie guy? Why is he? All he does is pitch the whole freaking time. That's probably what they're thinking. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't care. No, I do care. I love you guys. I do care. Of course I care. But it's also that thing of like, well, we're affiliates. We've got stuff. And if I believe that it's going to help my audience, I'm going to throw it out there, right? But what happens is from an energetic basis of like, take. And I'm like, offer, take. So I now need to work out ways that I can rebalance that. And not to get too woo-woo, but now that's my job, right? So I need to do things like give away some free stuff. Free Willy. Free. Yep. You guys are like, well, I'm glad that I watched to the end of this video. This is very entertaining. No, so jokes aside, if you can, like, I'm joking, but like, understand there's actually some logic in what I'm saying here, right? And so I now need to go and build that emotional equity back up with my audience. Like, hey, got some stuff who is going to help you out. It's all free. We're going to help you out, blah, 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 blah. And I need to build that embankment back up in order to then go, cool, by the way, if you're ready to get started on XYZ, this is what we're doing. This is how it's going to be. Let's get you freaking started. It's going to be amazing. And so that's now my job, right? So anyway, that is a breakdown of the launch. And this is a follow-up video to the one that I did recently on this, just fixing my offer. Did kind of fix it a little bit. But, I mean, this is, you guys see the results. It's cool, but it, could have gone way better. And now you guys have a bit of an idea as to what to do in your own offers. If you're an affiliate or you're a coach or you're a product creator, you can start to get real dynamic with this stuff. And just because something doesn't work the way that you anticipate does not mean that it's completely broken. Just think about the economics behind that and what you can do in order to start to create a better offer, basically, off the back of that. So anyway, I'm going to upload this. Welcome once again to Marketing Uncut with Jamie, and feel free to hit the subscribe button to stay up to date. I'm going to put out a few more of these types of things. And of course, join my group. And of course, if you want help executing anything that I talk about on this channel, head over to ultimatemarketingmastermind.com. Otherwise, feel free to hit up my group and check out some of the free training we've got in there. See if we can work together on growing your business. All right. Thanks very much. See you in the next one.